Hello guys, it's Marcus here. Hello everybody. So this is for our STEAM Academy, but can be used for anything else too. So there's a bit of a preamble here where we plan a LoRa network. But for today, what we're trying to do is use an ESP8266 and temperature sensor to kind of simulate our sensoring in the LoRa network later on. So this is what we're trying to shoot for. It's in 4 or 5 different chapters. So we have our ESP8266 here with the DHT11, and we're gonna just focus on coding the ESP first. We're creating our own little web server, and then in chapter 3 and 4 we're gonna looking into orchestration, like basically shooting these our sensor information to a Mosquito server via MQTT. We're going to use some Node-RED for orchestration, save the data, and we build a dashboard, a real-time dashboard, as well as then serve the data with Grafana. So that's our overall scenario. But first things first, so we need to set up our IDE and our ESP. So in this chapter here, we're going to just look at the IDE setup, the wiring, and we do some test program. So for the IDE, we need to have an additional board here. Let me actually walk you through this. Let me walk you through this. So so we need this URL, and we need to put this into the IDE, and I show you that exactly. This is the other steps. So when you have the PowerPoint, you can print this out if you need to. We should have the DHT11 library already there. I'm going to show you also how that works. You basically just go to the menu and look for this DHT, and then it should be, I think, the one from maybe Adafruit, but we're going to see this. This is our pinout, so we need to put our ESP on a breadboard and use D2, which is GPIO pin 4. You see this here to connect. This is the wiring diagram, and I have this done here too. So it's best you follow these. You need those power G and ground. You need obviously a USB cable hooked up to your computer, and I show you how this works. And then there's a test program. Here's the URL, and we're going to deploy this. We need to set the serial board, the board parameters, and so forth. So this is our task. So let me just go back here. So here, so let's first of all fire up your IDE, and usually you're not going to have anything, and just have this program here. So the first thing we need to do is in preferences, we need to click here on this little hinky minky, and we need to add this URL here, which is in the PowerPoint. So if you go here into the PowerPoint, pick this out and just paste that in here. This will give us the library. So the other thing we might want to check is in the libraries here, fire that one up, and let's search for DHT. Mine is a bit messy, so it might take some time. So if you look for DHT, there should be one coming up. I think this one here from Adafruit, and it's already installed in my package. I think this is the one we need. What did I say? Let's see, this is the board we did, and then the library, look for DHT. Yeah, it's by Adafruit, so this is the one we need. This guy here. Where is it? So just make sure you have, I have it installed already. There's maybe a newer version. Yeah, here I have version 1.4 installed. So this is good. The next thing you have to do is, let's just go make sure I have the instructions. We need to set the library, so we did that, and then we need to set the board. like see here, it says ESP yada yada yada. So if you go here, you select your board, and it should come, depending on the version of your IDE, it should come up with this menu. And what you have to do here is select our board, which is a generic ESP8266. And I think I already selected this one. Here we go, the first one. So that one we have to select, and that's pretty much all. There's a couple other settings you can do, but we can just ignore them for now. There was something with flash here, hang on. Sketch only, no Wi-Fi setting, okay. Okay, so once you have done this, I put a little program. Oh, once we have done this, so let's do the wiring first on the ESP. So this is a wiring, so make sure you have this guy hooked up. Then hook up the USB to your computer, assuming you have this wiring done. Let's find this. If you use this URL here, you can go to my GitHub, and yeah, it's right here. There is our course here. It has 4 or 5 chapters. So in chapter 1 you will find this code. So just click on raw, copy, Control-C. I know it's a bit fast, but you can stop the video and go back and forth if you need to. And then you paste this in here. Well, actually, do this properly. Let me just start it again. So when you start it, you can just say new, and then you can paste this code in here. Give the guy a name. I'm going to call it ESP8266 chapter 1 first code. Okay, save this. So when you save this, that should be it. One thing you have to do here is check if your serial connection is ready. So it should say something. I'm on a Mac, so if you're on a PC, it might has something. It will say something else here with COM ports. Anyway, select the one which you think it should be clear which one it is. So for me, it's this one, to shoot data to your ESP. Let's do a compile real quick, and we go through the program. So it has some sort of version. It prints out in setup action version string, and then in the loop we reading this the humidity and the temperature from our DH11 via pin, and I define this here, pin 4, which is D2 or GPIO 4, right? So make sure that you have this wired here. It's the third from the right. So if we have this, then you can upload the code to the chip, to our ESP. Feel free to change the text here if you need to. And then let's call this, once it's uploaded, you see this here on the bottom. Takes a little bit, we have a lot of memory and stuff. And then you can go to the serial monitor here, and we should see some stuff coming up. Not in my case, so let's close the serial monitor. Let's deploy it one more time. If I remember correctly, yeah, don't fiddle with the serial monitor until the code is uploaded. I think that's always the downfall. And then we should see 100%, okay. So if you go to the serial monitor, we should see the printouts. If you don't see anything, just use the reset button on the guy here. So it looks like I see temperature 25 here. So we're printing out, let me just check. Failed. Oh, there's an exercise. So I print just the temperature. I'll print temperature only if it. Okay, so anyway, so this is like the temperature. Let's just see if it works. So if I increase the temperature a bit, yeah, so my wiring works, it picks up the right thing. So that's the first thing we should do. Let's go back to the PowerPoint real quick. What did I put in here? Yeah, so this is a coding and it should read the temperature. I guess we should, we can also, let's print out the humidity too. If you remove these comments, then you can upload the code one more time. Then we get the humidity here as well. Takes always a bit. Oh yeah, and then the first one is we're gonna use a plotter as well. So just, I guess I should have done this in reverse order. Let's see what our serial report says. I'm gonna change that, and here's our serial report. So it just prints out now the humidity as well, which I guess is in percent, 24% humidity. So yeah, so now it's 95%. So, and the temperature goes up. So, you know, play with that. The one thing you can do is, like, if I remove these guys, I guess that's in the PowerPoint as an exercise. So there's also a plotter you can use instead of the serial monitor. It actually automatically plots the information, I think. And let's try to do that. If I do this here, there's a plotter. Might have to close this first. Then there's a plotter. Let's see what happens. So it should plot out our data. So you can use this too. It's obviously better if you, I thought there was some sort of format for this. I guess you have to change something here. I have to figure this one out. But anyway, it will plot then the values. And I will, no, where's our plotter? So we probably have to do some sort of formatting. Anyway, play with this. And then we go to the next step. So after the plotter, what did I put in here? I think that's it. So that's the exercise. Print the humidity in the plotter. Oh, there's a tutorial you can check out. And then we go to chapter 2. Okay, so that's it for now. Let's see how long this is.